Well, here we will see how Xamarin actually works, or what is underlying architecture of Xamarin native and Xamarin Forms based application. So this first block related to Xamarin traditional approach. So here we have a shared backend code or some code responsible to send HTTP request and to consume response, and then in traditional Xamarin approach each platform is having its own UI component. Like iOS will be having its separate UI layer and right will be having its separate, and similar for Windows apps as well, but this is not the same in case of Xamarin Forms. In Xamarin Forms, what advantages we are having is one of the advantages that even our UI code is also shared. Now, not only our entire business logic and hacktagic logic and the logic responsible to consume the app service is shared, but also the logic to display list box, to display buttons or drop downs or any other visible UI controls on the screen is also shared. Although in some exceptional cases they were also needing some platform specific UI in the form of a concept known as custom renders. So what custom renders do? Custom renders help us to export platform specific UI to the Xamarin Forms portable app project so that the same code behaves different on each platform. Why? Because we already have written custom renders for those specific platforms. Later we will see what are the different tools we will be needing to create Xamarin Form based applications. Well, if I am doing iOS app development, then Mac machine is a must-have. We cannot do iOS development on Windows machine or on a Linux machine, and on a Mac machine Xcode and iOS SDK must be pre-installed. Similarly, for Android app development, we can do Android development either on Windows machine or on Mac OS machine, and it needs Android SDK to be pre-installed. While for universal Windows app development, this is possible on your Windows machine. We cannot create Windows Phone or Windows 10 desktop applications on our Mac systems, and for the same we also need Windows 10 SDK to be stored on required SDK and required operating system. But above them, in terms of integrated development environment, we'll be also needing Xamarin Studio on Mac or Xamarin Studio or Visual Studio on Windows. Alright, so if I am doing iOS development, then I will be needing my Visual Studio to be connected to some Mac machine on the network so that my Visual Studio can fire commands to Mac and request Mac to compile the code, right? Because my iOS SDK is installed on my Mac machine, not on my Windows machine. But for Android development, this is possible from either on Xamarin Studio Mac or Xamarin Studio Windows, or even Visual Studio on Windows. Yes, you can do Android development right inside from Visual Studio and even on Windows. No other Mac or Linux needs to be connected. And for Windows app development, it is fairly simple. All you need is just Windows 10 SDK and Visual Studio installed, and you will be able to very easily write your Windows 10 application. So these are the set of requirements for each type of application development. That's all for this video. See you in the next module.